Before we begin, a very important disclaimer. The following is a dramatized retelling inspired by viral internet claims. It is not confirmed testimony and should not be taken as fact. This is creative storytelling intended for commentary and entertainment purposes only. No one saw it coming. The courtroom was still, buzzing only with quiet whispers, when the door opened and in walked Will Smith. Alone. No legal team, no fanfare, just the weight of his presence. The judge paused. Diddy, seated at the defense table, raised his eyes slowly. There was no mistaking the tension in the air. Will asked to be heard, not because he had been summoned, but because he could no longer stay silent. He took the stand calmly, eyes fixed ahead. And then he began to speak. He told the room about a night that changed his life forever. It started like any other industry gathering, an exclusive invite, a luxury mansion, black cars arriving one after the other. But something felt off. His phone was confiscated at the door. No explanation, just a look from the doorman that said, "Don't ask." Inside, Diddy welcomed him, smiling, friendly, but oddly possessive. "Now you're part of the family," he said, as he led Will to a back room. What Will described next silenced the entire courtroom. Behind closed doors, he said, was not a party, but a performance, a twisted show. Young people, some barely adults, doing things for the satisfaction of hidden eyes. He didn't see cameras, but he felt watched. Mirrors on every wall, champagne flowing, music pumping, but under it all, a sense of something dark, something off. And Diddy, laughing, as if this was normal. Days later, Will said, a flash drive arrived at his office. No, just a file. On it, footage of him, clearly under the influence, slurring his words, being laughed at by someone behind the camera. A voice, familiar. It was Diddy. "That's how we keep him," he allegedly said on the recording. Will said that's when the blackmail began. Not with threats, but with silence. Roles disappeared. Phone calls stopped. Brands backed off. Tabloids started whispering strangely specific rumors. It wasn't obvious at first, but he began to see the pattern. It was psychological warfare. But the most chilling part of his testimony wasn't about him. It was about the system. He claimed Diddy was not alone. He was protected, empowered by executives, producers, even tech billionaires. "I realized," Will said, "that a lot of people weren't his friends. They were his survivors." He described a moment from 2016, an unnamed studio exec handing Diddy a USB stick at an Oscars after-party, whispering, "Only you have the final cut." Will said he didn't understand it then, but now it made horrifying sense. Then the courtroom heard about the tape. Not just the party footage, but a secret audio recording, played in private chambers. On it, Will's voice, panicked, sedated, and another voice, Diddy's, saying, "That's how we break them in." The audio, Will claimed, was recorded without his consent, used as leverage, as control. Finally, Will pulled something from his jacket, a photo. It showed a younger version of himself, pre-fame, before the parties, before the silence. He held it up, voice cracking. "This is the man I used to be," he said. "I haven't seen him in years." He turned to Diddy one last time. "You built an empire on fear," he said. "You didn't just collect people. You controlled them." The courtroom fell silent. Even the judge looked shaken. Whether or not the system listens now, one thing was clear. Will Smith, for the first time in a long time, had taken back his voice. Again, this is a fictional dramatization based on viral internet stories and rumors. Nothing in this video should be interpreted as verified or legally proven, but it does raise questions about fame, about silence, and about the price people pay behind closed doors. If this story moved you, drop a comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives, dramatizations, and untold stories from inside Hollywood's shadows.